Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Sean from YouTube.com, SMP, and TechTrade.webs.com. And today, if you notice, you don't see anything on the video, and that's because I am recording this from my touch or HTC Magic, if you're up on the phones like that. But the reason why I am using just the black background is because I just want to go over with you guys the Samsung Vibrant. Um, Presumably, this might be my next Android smartphone coming up, and I'm still debating whether to get this, the Nexus One, or stick with my MyTouch until something even better comes out. So let me just go over the Samsung Vibrant real quick. This is T-Mobile's version of the Samsung Galaxy S. There are a few good smartphones out. The iPhone 4 just launched. You have the Evo 4G, the Droid X, the Droid 2, and the Nexus One. All have fantastic specs, but the Samsung Vibrant might even be able to beat those. So let me go over the specs with you guys. On the front is your light and proximity sensor with your with your speaker grill, your T-Mobile branding, and a front-facing, yes, I did say front-facing, VGA video camera, which is capable of doing video chat and self-portrait photos. And that's one of the big features that actually leaps the Galaxy or the Samsung Vibrant, in front of the Google Nexus One. Below that is a 4-inch Super AMOLED WVGA display, and Super AMOLED just came out. This is the second Android handset to have a Super AMOLED display, second to the Samsung Beam. And what the basically is it has better colors than regular AMOLEDs. But the big thing is it's more visible in bright sunlight. Not as visible as LCD panels, but assuming that you're getting better color than TFT and presumably Apple's IPS LCD panels, is something that we can, something that's well worth the sacrifice, and it's not too big of a difference between the visibility and sunlight between Super AMOLED and LCDs. Below that, you're getting 4 buttons: a menu button, home button, back button, and a search button. Although I do wish that there was another option for input instead of just the touch screen. It's, I guess, not too big of a deal breaker. On the left side is your volume rocker. I believe on the left side is your volume rocker. On the right side is your on-off button. On the top is your micro USB and 3.5mm headphone jack. And on the back, or on the bottom, is your microphone. And on the back is your 5 megapixel sensor with 720p high definition video capture at 30 frames per second. Underneath that, I believe, is a 1,500 milliamp battery, and that's pretty much all you're going to see on the back besides your SIM card slot. So now let me get into the actual specs besides what you can see on the phone. It's supposed to be released I forget what day it is, sometime in July. And it was announced, I believe, yesterday. So, because T-Mobile has this sort of T-Mobile Clue thing, T-MobileClue.com, and they had this little clue where you're supposed to guess what it was, and they had a Sam, it was Uncle Sam, son, and then they had a G at the end, and then they had a Viking, subtract the king from Viking to make a Vi, then they had a B to make a B, so Vi B, and then rant, or R, and then they had an ant at the end, so Samsung Vibrant. So anyways, back to the specs. The network, actually, this is a very fast phone. Wi-Fi, you're getting A, B, G, and N, but that's not even the highlights of the data. The highlights of the data is that you'll be getting T-Mobile's HSPA Plus service, which is 21 megabits upload and about a little bit over 5.5 megabits download. So, 21 megabits download and a little bit over 5.5 megabits upload. So, theoretically, speed should be faster than some Wi-Fi and networks and some actual broadband internet. So that should be something really nice to see. And where I am, T-Mobile is launching their HSPA Plus service, so it'll be very nice that before the end of the year I'll be able to be using that service. Although to see if it'll be zapping the battery like the Evo 4G service zaps the battery, that would be something yet to see. And just in case you were wondering the bands, you have 850 megahertz, 900 megahertz, 1800 megahertz, 1900 megahertz for GSM, and which is the cellular communications, and then UMTS bands 1000 or 2100, 1900, and 900 megahertz. And yes, this is a 3G phone because you're getting a super fast 3G as well, which is even faster than Sprint's WiMAX 4G. The dimensions are 122.4 millimeters by 24.2 millimeters by 9 millimeters thin, making this the second thinnest handset. That's one of the reasons why Samsung said they didn't want to include the flash on the camera, but seeing as the Motorola Droid X had dual LED flash, even with that extra hump, I was kind of hoping that the Galaxy or the Vibrant might have that. It weighs 118 grams, making it one of the lighter smartphones on the market. In comparison, the Nexus 1 weighs 115 grams, and the iPhone 4 weighs 137 grams. So yes, this is a 1,500 milliamp battery you're supposed to be looking at, which should give you pretty good talk time, pretty good standby time as well. That about 13 hours of talk time and 31 days of standby time. So about a month of standby time, which is remarkably good. So the display, like I said, WVGA Super AMOLED 4 inches, and 16 million plus colors. 5 megapixel camera, 720p high definition video capture, and you have a bunch of modes also with that front facing video camera, and you also have tap to focus built in on the camera, and digital zoom. This is an Android 2.1 device if you were wondering about that. It's a Samsung Hummingbird 1000 megahertz or 1 gigahertz processor. What that basically means is that the phone has the second highest benchmark of a non-2.1 Android phone, or a non-2.2 Froyo Android phone, second to the Motorola Droid X, which has an OMAP processor. 512 RAM and 1.5 gigs of ROM. You also have micro SD card, or I'm sorry, not 1.5 gigs of ROM. You have 16 gigs of flash memory, which can be expanded with micro SD cards of up to 40 gigabytes. Bluetooth 3.0. Yes, I did say 3.0. A 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, like I said. It is FCC approved with AGPS, light sensor, accelerometer, proximity sensor, and a built-in digital compass. The browser does not have flash, but is presumably when it gets 2.2 Froyo, in the days following the release, that's when it should be able to get that update. Video playback, it can do DivX, XVID, and DivX HD and XVID HD. It has an FM radio and can play back MP3, AAC, AAC+, and a plethora of different video and audio codecs. Lastly, which I might bring this into a part 2, actually I think I will because there's so much more to talk about this phone. So anyways, this is Sean from TechDroid.webs.com, YouTube.com/Pete. This is the part 1 of the Samsung Vibrant, what to look for in internet. Favorite my video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my website. Tell friends about it. And if you know any of the any PR people with Samsung, HTC, just any PR people, I'd really appreciate if you would connect them to my channel. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys in a later video. Goodbye.